Okay, I'm back again, DelusionDispeller, here to talk a little bit more about some things that you thought would be great in a relationship but don't apply to narcissists. Okay, one of the things about me, anybody that knows me will tell you this. I am very tenacious, very strong-willed, very stubborn, and very persistent. You may be in a relationship with somebody that is narcissistic, and you may think, well, if I just stick it out a little longer, if I just hold out, he'll come around, you know. Basically, I know that he has a good personality under all of that gruffness and meanness. He'll just, you know, he just needs some time. I'll just give him some time. Persistence will pay off in the end. It always does. No, not with the narcissist. You can persist all you want. He's going to do what he's going to do, and he's going to do it with his own interest at heart, period. That's just how it is. You know, I always think about in the Bible where Pharaoh, which was one of the religious leaders in Egypt, or not religious leaders, but one of the main leaders in Egypt, was very, very domineering and controlling of the people that were slaves, to the point where he did some things that were really cruel. One of the things that happened with the people in Egypt was that they were made to work very, very hard making houses and buildings and walls and things like that with brick and mortar. Well, one day it got to the point where the people were so frustrated they couldn't keep up on the quota that they asked, I guess the foreman or somebody, to tell the Pharaoh, please provide us with more supplies. Instead, what he did was take away some of the supplies they had and give them a higher quota of more things to do. That's called a double bind. Narcissists do this a lot, where they will tell you to do something and then make it impossible for you to do it. Like, they'll want you, for instance, in my case, I had an ex-husband that wanted the floors vacuumed, like, pristine. He was very OCD about that. But yet he would keep giving my vacuums away to the neighbors. So I didn't have the proper equipment to clean with, and then he would berate me because the floors were disgusting all the time. But I didn't have a way to keep them clean. And when I would ask him, well, what am I supposed to do with no vacuum? You just gave my other one to the neighbor. He would say, well, use the broom, sweep it. How do you sweep a carpet? I mean, you can, I suppose, but it doesn't always get it as clean as a vacuum would. And it's a lot more difficult when you've just had a baby to try to sweep a carpet because it pulls on your insides and it hurts. But again, that goes back to our last video of a narcissist really doesn't care if you're hurting. They don't care if you need a doctor. They don't care if you need the hospital. They just plain don't care. So it didn't matter to him. I don't know how I got off on that tangent because I was talking about how persistence does not pay off. Back to that. You can persist all you want. You can wait till the cows come home. That narcissist is not likely to change. He's not likely to become your Prince Charming. The frog will not turn back into the prince when it comes to a narcissist. Once a frog, always a frog. Remember that. And then if you decide to still persist, in spite of what I'm telling you, you will come back later and tell me, you know what, you were right. I don't know why I waited so long, because you'll waste precious time you could be spending on people that are worth it. They're just not worth your time or your effort or your energy. They're just not. Until they decide that they have a problem, which is rare, and deal with it, they're not people worth, you know, pairing up with in a relationship at all. Okay. Besides, the more persistent you are, the more they back off, because they know what you want. They're sure of what you want, and they're purposely not going to give it to you because they're nasty people like that. They don't care what you want. It doesn't matter to them. And the more they can make you suffer without it, happier they are. Yes, there really are evil people like that. Okay, next thing. Something you really want is worth the wait. That kind of went along with what I said. No, it's not. They're not worth the wait. And what you want is you want this idealized picture of what you think they are. You just don't realize it yet. So waiting around for something that cannot be is just ignorant. I'm not putting you down, but it's really ignorant because it's not going to happen. You're just spinning your wheels. You're just waiting around for nothing. And you're starving yourself from so much better out there that you could be having. Why take away the time from something worthwhile with something that's not worth your while? Makes no sense. Anyway, stay tuned. I'll be right back with the next video. God bless you.